Old Tang, you recuperate here first. Xianxia told Tang Zhongjie to stay here. Then he took out the communication jade symbol paper and sent a message to Sun Lingxing. He did not receive Sun Lingxing's reply. It was clear that Sun Lingxing's current situation was extremely bad, just like the Tang Zhongjie before him. Spirit Star, do not let anything happen to you. Xianxia felt that Sun Lingxing had a huge future. Once she entered the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, she would definitely be able to gain great power, and at that time she would be able to be of great help to him. Moreover, he had gotten along well with Sun Lingxing, and the two of them had a very good relationship. Xianxia entered the Six Realms time and space door, but he could not find Sun Lingxing's Wheel of Fate. The Wheel of Fate of Spirit Star isn't here? What is going on? Xianxia was extremely shocked. He had previously tried to find the world-defying stage Tao Ancestor, or even the world-defying stage Dragon Ancestor's Wheel of Fate, but now he couldn't find Sun Lingxing. This was the first time he had encountered something like this. Could it be that Spirit Star is dead? Xianxia's heart jumped, then he shook his head. Nothing will happen to Spirit Star. She is so strong, so she shouldn't die that easily. Xianxia did not dare believe such a thing. He immediately sent all his rats out to search for Sun Lingxing in the forest. He himself had entered the forest and teleported everywhere, searching for traces of Sun Lingxing. Very quickly, he passed by a swallowing mouse and saw Sun Lingxing's figure. He immediately teleported over. The invisible Xianxia saw that Sun Lingxing was covered in purple iron chains, causing her to lose her soul. In front of her was a bloodied head, which belonged to an old lady. Sun Lingxing, who was tied up, was kneeling in front of a human head with a painful expression. Although she did not cry, she could not hide the sorrow in her heart. There were also 3 men dressed in purple and gold here. They were all extremely powerful, with bursts of world-defying stage divine power chi on their bodies and a wave of power. Their bodies were already close to the physique of the world. As long as they were given time, they would be able to cultivate the body of the world and step into the world-defying stage. This kind of ancestor, also known as the Divine Body Venerable Ancestor, was extremely powerful. Sun Lingxing. The reason why this old woman ended up like this is all because of you. One of the men sneered. If it wasn't for you leaving the Forget-Me divine race back then, she wouldn't be here right now. But grandmother is already dead. Why did she appear here again? Sun Lingxing felt his heart ache looking at Sun Lingxing's soulless appearance. She didn't die, she was just imprisoned by the clan leader. The clan leader was worried that you would run away in the future, so he deliberately left that out. If we didn't take out her head, you wouldn't have been lured out so easily, right? The man chuckled. Now I've finally caught you. If I knew earlier, I wouldn't have done it this way. Sun Lingxing closed her eyes. 2 clear lines of tears flowed down. And when she opened her eyes, there was an endless amount of hatred in her eyes. She, who was originally kind, now looked like a peerless evil woman, as her entire body released waves of black killing intent. The 3 Divine Body Venerable Ancestor-S were all shocked. Seal her quickly. Just as the man finished speaking, he was enveloped by a cloud of purple mist. Xianxia threw out all the Wangwa poison in his hands, and they formed bursts of purple powder that covered the 3 Divine Body Venerable Ancestor-S like a sandstorm. Such a dense Wangwa poison, as long as they could inhale even a little bit of it, they were finished, and such a sandstorm of poison powder had entered the mouths of the 3 Divine Body Venerable Ancestor-S. In an instant, they were poisoned to the end and fainted. Smelling this kind of poisonous scent, Sun Lingxing, who had originally become extremely irritable, as if a peerless evil woman was awakening, gradually calmed down and returned to her original state, then fell asleep as well. Xianxia hurried over and sealed the 3 Divine Body Venerable Ancestor-S inside the 6 Realms mirrors. He then picked up Sun Lingxing and placed him in a quiet place in the Yu Yao Mountain Villa. High Priest. Xianxia's rat had discovered the figure of the High Priest. All right, let's settle this together. Xianxia immediately released a burst of aura and at the same time, collected all the poison powder that had fallen in the air. Very quickly, the High Priest sensed Xianxia's qi and happily brought his men over. However, halfway through, he was suddenly hit by a burst of purple powder, and by the time he smelled that it was a type of poisonous scent, he knew he was done for. Xianxia, you used a Wanghua poison on me? The high priest was terrified. Yes, you know this poison. Xianxia smiled slightly, then slapped the high priest, whose face was filled with fear. The slap had even shattered the high priest's bones. This was like a slap to the face, causing the high priest's head to be smashed. You bastard! I'm going to fight you to the death. The high priest roared crazily, and then rushed towards Xianxia. However, the moment he waved his hand, he fell to the ground and started twitching. Xianxia fiercely stomped on his body a few times and laughed coldly. You worked hard to help the world-defying dragon demon break the seal, but he actually abandoned you like a piece of trash. He arranged for you and the Ghost Emperor to come in so that you guys could die. That's because you are trash in his eyes, so he will throw you away without feeling any heartache at all. The high priest roared in anger as if struck by lightning. It's not like that. I'm loyal and devoted to my lord. He only sent me because he values me. Don't be a bastard. If that's really the case, then he definitely shouldn't have sent me over. You all don't understand me well enough, but world-defying dragon demon knows very well. He is very clear on how terrifying the myriad Tao divine arts I cultivate are. He also knows that the spatial technique that I have mastered makes it so easy for me to deal with you all. Xianxia laughed coldly. So you are already of no value in his eyes, so he feels that it's better to let you guys give him a last bit of help before I die, to see what stage I have grown to. You bastard. The high priest did not believe Xianxia's words, but he had already crumbled and continued to shout. Xianxia sneered and smashed his palm towards the high priest. He struck out a set of world-defying god fire, burned this evil dragon demon high priest to death, and then returned to Sun Lingxing's underground palace. Xianxia let Sun Lingxing out from the Yu Yao mountain villa, placed her on the bed in her room, then sat down beside the bed and patiently waited for her to wake up. At this moment, he was a little worried about Sun Lingxing. He was worried that Sun Lingxing was an extremely terrifying female devil in his previous life. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been sealed inside the world-defying stage divine mausoleum. Xianxia waited for more than 2 hours, but there was no sign of Sun Lingxing waking up. This caused him to be a little worried, and then he went to check on her situation. It's hard to imagine a woman's body being this powerful. Xianxia had thought that Sun Lingxing's body was severely injured, but after inspecting it, he discovered that Sun Lingxing's body was extremely tough, and even if he released his consciousness inside, it would be extremely difficult to investigate. The unconscious Sun Lingxing felt an extremely strong force enter his body to resist all the powers outside. Xianxia then went to check on the situation of Sun Lingxing's divine sense. The divine sense is very healthy without any injuries, but why is she still not awake? Xianxia felt that a strong rancor like Sun Lingxing should not be in deep sleep for so long. After all, her body was in a very good condition right now. He waited for another 2 hours, but Sun Lingxing still had not woken up. I wonder how old Tang is doing now. Let's find him and ask. Xianxia walked out of Sun Lingxing's room and waited in the hall. Tang Xianxia was injured just now, but it was not a very serious injury and he could quickly recover. Right now, he is in a very good condition. After he walked out of the room, he saw Xianxia here, and immediately asked, "This place is not bad. Did you build it?" Xianxia shook his head. "I didn't build it. It's a woman, she's already passed out. I don't know why, but she's very strong. She shouldn't have fainted for so long, and she wasn't hurt." Tang Xianxia frowned. Her situation, to be able to build such a stone room. Tang Xianxia was very curious about the background of this woman. To be able to build such a good place in this forest, he was an antique of the primordial forest, but he did not know about this. Xianxia told Tang Xianxia about Sun Lingxing's situation. After listening to Xianxia's narration, Tang Xianxia's expression became extremely solemn, and she said, "She almost awakened an extremely evil and terrifying power earlier. Fortunately, she did not succeed, or else the consequences would be unthinkable." Why did she awaken such a power? Could it be that she possessed such an evil and powerful strength in her previous life in the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum? Xianxia asked. It's very possible, but it might not be true. Perhaps the power of her previous life was sealed inside the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, and after so many years, it has become extremely evil. When she tried to forcefully awaken previously, she was also affected by this kind of effect. Tang Zhongjie finished and then shook her head. But that's impossible. The world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum has not opened yet, so she can't directly feel the energy inside the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, much less extract it out. Then what's going on? When Chen Xiang thought about it, he also felt that it was inconceivable. World-defying stage Divine Mausoleum was still sealed, so there was no aura inside that leaked out, so it was impossible for Sun Lingxing to obtain any power from it. Tang Zhongjie thought for a while. His body suddenly shook and said, "There is only one possibility, and that is that her power is sealed in the everlasting forest. Furthermore, it is very evil, and this might be related to her previous life. Of course, this is only my current guess. According to what you said, she should be a very kind-hearted woman who absolutely shouldn't have that kind of frightening power." Chun Xiang recalled that Sun Lingxing once told him that the elders in the Forget-Me divine race did not allow her to enter this prideful forest. Chun Xiang immediately told Tang Zhongjie about this. After Tang Zhongjie heard it, he frowned. "It seems like my guess is not wrong. Even if that power is not hers, only she can obtain it. There must be a hidden powerful force in this forest that can be devoured and sealed. Only a spirit star can absorb that energy," Chen Xiang asked. Tang Zhongjie nodded his head. "It should be so. Forget-Me divine race knows about it too, so she is not allowed to enter. I never thought that there would be such a secret hidden in this forest. I have been here for so many years, yet I do not know about it. Old Tang, do you know when she'll wake up?" Chun Xiang brought Tang Zhongjie to Sun Lingxing's bedside. After Tang Zhongjie investigated further, he was just as surprised as Chun Xiang at the toughness of Sun Lingxing's body. That kind of power far exceeded his imagination. "What's wrong?" Seeing Tang Zhongjie's expression, Chun Xiang was also a little worried. Her body is exceptionally strong, and she is already at the level of world-defying holy body. However, she was suppressed, which resulted in her physical body being restricted. If not, she would be even more powerful, and this Sun Lingxing must be hiding some huge secret. Tang Zhongjie said, "For her to possess such a powerful body right now makes me feel that this is equivalent to a container of superpower, which is to say, the power sealed here can only be swallowed by the world-defying holy body." Sun Lingxing's body had actually reached the world-defying holy body's level. This was an existence that was as strong as the world-defying stage Tao Ancestoress and world-defying stage Evil Ancestoress. It's just that I don't know if it's the initial or mastery of the primordial divine body. The world-defying stage Dragon Ancestor was an initial stage of the primordial divine body, but he was much stronger than the world-defying Dragon Demon. This level of strength is definitely at large success. If it was at the initial stage, I would definitely be able to see that it is only slightly stronger than the primordial profound body. Although Tang Zhongjie was only a venerable ancestor later stage, he was experienced and knowledgeable. He believed in his own judgment. "Spirit star, spirit star." Chun Xiang gently called out. He wished for Sun Lingxing to wake up quickly, but Sun Lingxing was still peacefully sleeping, breathing evenly, looking as though he was sleeping soundly. There's only one possibility for why she hasn't woken up yet. She felt that she might not be able to control herself, so she chose to seal herself in and let herself sleep. Otherwise, she would definitely wake up. It might just devour the evil energy that is sealed here and turn her into an evil demon. Tang Zhongjie guessed. If you want her to wake up, you can try to find that energy and deal with that evil energy. This way, she might wake up. How can I find that power? Chun Xiang looked at Sun Lingxing and caressed her face as he asked. He should be in the forest of the everlasting stone. I feel that you are better at this than me, so you should think of a way yourself. Tang Zhongjie said. He was captured by the high priest previously, so it was clear that he was not strong enough. All right, I'll take a look now. Xianxia left the underground palace and floated high up in the sky. Then, he used the Tao Heart Eye to fly above the forest, wanting to try and see if he could see where the peerless evil energy was hiding. Xianxia searched for a few, but he didn't find anything. Instead, he saw quite a few dragon demons searching for something. Are these demons looking for me? Xianxia flew down and killed a dragon demon. From the dragon demon's memories, he found out that the dragon demon was not looking for him, but for that peerless evil force. This was completely out of Xianxia's expectations. The dragon demon also found out about the unique evil force hidden in the forest. How did the dragon know? Xianxia killed a few more dragon demons, but did not manage to find anything out of the memories of these dragon demons. These dragon demons only received orders to come here to search for a strong source of evil energy. These past few days, Xianxia did not reap any rewards. If it was before, he would not be so worried. But now, the dragon demons know of the existence of absolute evil. If they were to obtain it, the consequences would be unimaginable. He returned to the underground palace and told this matter to Tang Xianxia. It could be that Miss Ling Xing had awakened that peerless evil energy, and world-defying dragon demon was very sensitive to that power, so they could sense it immediately. Maybe he already knew about the hidden peerless evil energy inside head of Forget-Me Race's mouth. Tang Xianxia said, "We must get rid of this evil energy before they find us. If they get it, there will be endless troubles in the future. But I don't know how to find that power. I don't know where to start." Xianxia said. He wanted to find the source of the voice too, but he had already flown through the skies of the forest and had no clues at all. Have you been to the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum in the center? Tang Xianxia asked. I've been there, but I haven't found anything. The dragon demons are also searching the area. If they found anything, they would have made a move. Xianxia was using his heaven-devouring rat to stare at the entrance of the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, but the dragon demon did not discover anything. Xianxia not only used his heaven-devouring rat to keep an eye on the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, there were many places in the forest where heaven-devouring rat were active. Once the dragon demon discovered something, he would definitely find out immediately. It seems that there really is no way to find it. Since it doesn't appear on the surface, then it must be hidden underground. This requires a lot of time to find it. Tang Xianxia said. Yes. Xianxia had already ordered a portion of the heaven-devouring rat to dig into the ground to search, and now he did not plan to go out to look either. As long as he controlled the heaven-devouring rat well, it would be fine. A few days later, although the heaven-devouring rat could not find the absolute evil spirit, but they did hear a shocking piece of news. He heard a few dragon demons discussing a matter called world-defying stage heavenly sect, because their master, the world-defying dragon demon, had been in contact with some people from the world-defying stage heavenly sect and seemed to be cooperating with them. Now, the world-defying stage heavenly sect was also planning to send people to search for the unique evil spirit force. When Xianxia heard this news, he immediately told Tang Xianxia, Old Tang, do you know this world-defying stage heavenly sect? Xianxia saw that Tang Xianxia was deep in thought and was secretly surprised. Yes, I know that world-defying stage heavenly sect, because I am from the world-defying stage heavenly sect. Tang Xianxia sighed. I didn't expect that world-defying stage heavenly sect would actually removed the seal. Tang Xianxia actually came from the world-defying stage heavenly sect. Is the world-defying stage heavenly sect very powerful? I heard from those dragon demons that even the world-defying dragon demon are very afraid of the world-defying stage heavenly sect. Xianxia asked quickly. Yes, the world-defying stage heavenly sect is extremely powerful, but it was sealed by a mysterious power. At that time, I was unable to enter the world-defying stage heavenly sect, nor could I leave the world-defying stage heavenly sect. Tang Xianxia said, World-defying stage Tao Ancestor and world-defying stage Dragon Ancestor have also stayed in world-defying stage heavenly sect before, and even world-defying Dragon Demon and world-defying stage Evil Ancestor have some relationship with this world-defying stage heavenly sect. Tang Xianxia had previously said that when he came to this forest, the Myriad Tao Mausoleum had not been completed yet. Before that, Tang Xianxia was already someone from the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect. Where is the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect? Why haven't I heard of it before? When Xianxia was in the Flying Dragon Pagoda, he had never heard of such a powerful existence, nor had he heard of the world-defying stage dragon ancestor mentioning it. Not mentioning you, there are many old fellows in the forest who don't know about this, but only a few of us who came from the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect know about the existence of this world-defying stage Heavenly Sect. All of us world-defying stage Heavenly Sect disciples can easily step into the world-defying stage, but in order to enter the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, we chose to wait here. Tang Xianxia said, I wonder how strong the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect will be. If they want to deal with you, you better be careful. I'm not afraid of them. Xianxia planned to refine more Wanghua poison powder, and he had previously used this poison to knock down the divine body venerable ancestors. Tang Xianxia shook his head. It's impossible for you to use Wanghua poison. They must be on guard against you. World-defying stage Heavenly Sect breaking the seal right now means that they are prepared to do something big. Furthermore, when they were sealed previously, the bottom of the crater had increased a lot of power, so it was not easy for them to deal with them. If they are venerable ancestor later stage, are they very strong as well? Xianxia asked. It must be very strong. Of course, this is mainly reflected in their divine tools, so their defense and attack power should be very strong. Tang Xianxia said, many years ago, in the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect, I saw a type of world-defying artifact that was specially made for the venerable ancestor later stage. In terms of defense or offense, if they were wearing such armor, their defense would increase at least 5 or even 10 times. Xianxia thought about it. The reason why the previous high priest and the ghost emperor, and even the 3 divine body venerable ancestresses, were so easily killed by him, was mainly because they did not guard against his Wanghua poison. Who knows, maybe they have a deep understanding of that peerless evil power. It would be bad if they found out about it. Xianxia said, I have to keep an eye on them. Xianxia released even more heaven-devouring rat. The sudden appearance of the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect caught him off guard, and it was so mysterious and powerful. What worried him the most was that the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect and the world-defying dragon demon were very close. It's possible that they don't know that they are here for the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum now. When I was in the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect back then, there were many legends about the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, and now that the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum is about to open, it wouldn't be strange for them to appear here since they have already broken the seal. Tang Xianxia said, right now, I'm just worried that they will ally with the world-defying dragon demon. Xianxia sighed, then came to Sun Lingxing's room. Looking at the sleeping Sun Lingxing, he suddenly had an idea, which was to see if he could communicate with him. Go into her divine sense see and see. Only she knows where that peerless evil energy is. Xianxia covered Sun Lingxing's forehead with his hand and tried to see if he could enter the depths of her divine sense see world to search for her soul. Xianxia easily entered Sun Lingxing's divine sense see world, but he could not find her soul. Sun Lingxing's divine sense see world was extremely simple. It was just an empty patch of white, with nothing at all. It's really big. At this time, Xianxia allowed a strand of his own divine soul to enter Sun Lingxing's divine sense see, and quickly flew inside, looking for Sun Lingxing's soul. His divine soul have flown for a few hours inside, but it is still a vast and white world, without borders and without anything. Could it be that sealing oneself up is like this? Xianxia knew that this was not the way to go it. All right, let's try another method. Xianxia allowed his complete divine soul to enter Sun Lingxing's divine sense see. Then he calmed his heart to see if he could sense Sun Lingxing's soul. Not long after, he had a feeling. Spirit Star, is that you? Xianxia did not know how to describe that inexplicable feeling, but he suddenly felt a kind of gentleness surging over. It's me, it's me. Sun Lingxing's very excited voice floated into Xianxia's mind, but Xianxia still hadn't seen her, so at that time, he would feel like Sun Lingxing was being locked up. Lingxing, How are you now? Why can't you wake up? Xianxia asked quickly. Just like what Uncle Tang said. Once I wake up, I will be devoured by that peerless evil energy. I can hear you talking outside, but I am unable to communicate with you. I have sealed up my body and the divine sense C, so that peerless evil energy will not be able to sense me. Sun Lingxing said. Old Tang's really amazing. He's already guessed it. Xiang said. Then what do we do now? Find the peerless evil force and deal with it. Uncle Tang also said before. Sun Lingxing said. That's correct, but you need to be careful. This exceptional evil spirit is extremely terrifying. If you find it, accidentally take care of it. Once you are targeted, then you will be swallowed by this power. If your body cannot take it, then it will explode. How can I find it? Xianxia asked. Now, a mysterious force called World-Defying Stage Heavenly Sect has appeared here. They seem to be searching for this exceptional evil force. And also the dragon demons and forget-me divine race. They are very interested in this peerless evil energy. We can't let them find it, or else the consequences will be very serious. Sun Lingxing said. Especially World-Defying Stage Heavenly Sect. World-Defying Stage Heavenly Sect is no longer the World-Defying Stage Heavenly Sect of before, and after being sealed for billions of years, the World-Defying Stage Heavenly Sect has long deteriorated. Furthermore, the reason they were sealed was also because they had started to walk the evil path back then. Spirit Star, do you know so much about World-Defying Stage Heavenly Sect? Could it be that you already know about your previous life? Xianxia did not expect Sun Lingxing to actually be a world-defying stage heavenly sect. This was something even Tang Zhongjie was not clear of. Tang Zhongjie was outside at that time, and if he wanted to return to world-defying stage heavenly sect, the world-defying stage heavenly sect was already sealed, so it was impossible for him to enter or leave. Thus, he had no choice but to come to this place, as he did not know how the world-defying stage heavenly sect was sealed. My past life had some sort of relationship with the world-defying stage heavenly sect, so we can talk about it in the future. Everything can only be done after I enter the world-defying stage divine mausoleum. In short, for world-defying stage heavenly sect to be able to cultivate guys like the world-defying stage evil ancestor and the world-defying dragon demon, they are definitely not good people. Sun Lingxing said, I will guide you to search for that exceptional demonic energy that was condensed from the cultivation of many world-defying stage S who had retreated for many years. Back then, many evil world-defying stage entered this place in order to enter it, so when their cultivation regressed, they were gathered in the formation beneath the forest. After the cultivation of the Ghost Emperor and High Priest regressed, their powers were also absorbed by the peerless evil spirit force. Xianxia thought that the power would dissipate, but he never expected that it would be condensed. Where is the supreme evil force? After I find it, what do I need to do? Xianxia asked. After you find it, use the world-defying god fire to burn it. I know you can use world-defying god fire. Although she seemed to be asleep, she could feel everything happening outside. Previously, she had sensed that Xianxia was using world-defying god fire to burn something. That's it. Xianxia felt that it was way too easy. I need you to use a world-defying stage divine power that is strong enough to activate the world-defying god fire. You can use the very strong world-defying stage divine power. Sun Lingxing was also aware that there were 3 women in Xianxia's Yuyao Mountain Villa, and one of them was actually from world-defying stage. At that time, she was secretly shocked in her heart, as there were not many women in the world-defying stage, but Xianxia had hidden one with him. Then, Sun Lingxing told Xianxia the location of the ultimate evil energy and told him to find it himself. It's actually so deep, and so deep at that. At this time, Xianxia had already arrived at the top of the world-defying stage divine mausoleum, and the peerless evil energy was directly beneath the world-defying stage divine mausoleum. The underground palace was very big and was used to set up arrays. It was located very deep in the ground, and if Sun Lingxing hadn't told him, he definitely wouldn't have thought that there would be such a huge underground palace at the center of the forest. The tunnels in the underground palace intersected with one another. These were the keys to this formation. The tunnels were also very strong and very difficult to break through. So, even if one fought in the underground palace, it would be very difficult to move them. After Xianxia arrived here, he looked at the walls of the passageway, searching for the symbol that Sun Lingxing had mentioned. Very quickly, he found it. This is a huge maze. If I didn't have the symbol, I might have to use all of the heaven-devouring rat in order to find it. Xianxia followed the symbol and walked very easily, arriving at the center of the underground palace very quickly. At the center of the underground palace was a small stone house. Xianxia was currently standing in front of the door, and he didn't know how to enter it. He used the white tiger leap and wanted to teleport inside, but he did not succeed. He had already placed Sun Lingxing inside the Yu Yao Mountain Villa. At this time, he could only enter the Yu Yao Mountain Villa and communicate with Sun Lingxing's divine sensei and ask how he was going to enter the small stone hut. You can't enter using the power of space? Sun Lingxing was also surprised, because she felt that they should be able to enter. Yes, what do we do now? Just one more step. Xianxia was leaning on the stone door. The exceptional evil spirit force was inside. What's that on top of the stone door? Like a keyhole or something? Sun Lingxing asked again. Yes, there is indeed a small hole. Xianxia said, Do I need a key? Where are you going to get the key? This is terrible. If you want to obtain this key, you can only go to the world-defying stage Tao Ancestor. Only he will give it to you. Of course, there might be people from the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect, but we must not let them know that the ultimate evil energy is here or else they will get it. Sun Lingxing said. Xianxia was unable to see the world-defying stage Tao Ancestor at all. At most, he could only see the world-defying stage Dragon Ancestor's soul fragments. Where could he go to get the key? Key. Xianxia suddenly thought of something. He had already swallowed the Myriad Tao Divine Tablets formation before, so the Myriad Tao Divine Tablets formation was what key it was, but he felt that it was not possible. Because there were a lot of keys in the Myriad Tao Divine Tablets formation, could there be that many keys? Then why did the world-defying stage Tao Ancestor throw these keys everywhere? Xianxia told Sun Lingxing about this matter. Is that the key? Xianxia asked. Could this even be a key? It's possible that you want to see if you can condense all the power of that Myriad Tao Divine Tablets formation and pour it into that small hole. Sun Lingxing said, I've heard that the key is very special and not something that we're familiar with, so I think it's possible that it's the key. Maybe the key is just a type of power, but the power that the Myriad Tao Divine Tablets formation has condensed is something that the world-defying stage Tao Ancestor can control. Xianxia nodded. I'll try. He closed his eyes and concentrated on condensing the power of the Myriad Tao's divine steel. He condensed it in his palm bit by bit, but he was only able to condense a little bit after an hour had passed. Let's give it a try. He placed the white light mist into the small hole on the stone door, and after entering the small hole, the stone door suddenly moved, causing Xianxia to be extremely happy. He had originally thought that the stone door would open later, but after the stone door moved, there was no movement. This made him very confused. Could it be that the power I gathered is not enough? Unable to open the stone door? Xianxia then began to condense the Myriad Tao Divine Tablets formation's power again. Now he was sure that the Myriad Tao Divine Tablets formation's power was the key to open the stone door, and he only needed to condense more of that power to open the stone door and enter, and use the world-defying god fire to burn the ball of evil qi. Xianxia condensed for 3 days and 3 nights. A large ball of white-colored divine steel's power condensed at the center of his palm. The stone door trembled once again, but unlike before, it only trembled for a second before it stopped. Now that the stone door was shaking continuously, Xianxia watched for a while, reached out and opened it, easily opening the door. The inside of the stone door was pitch black. After he entered, the stone door automatically closed, and a white light suddenly lit up, illuminating the entire stone room. In the middle of the room was a giant, black bead that released a weak wave of evil energy. This is the peerless evil energy? Xianxia looked at the gigantic bead and was shocked. At this time, he did not feel just how terrifying the evil energy the bead contained. It was not that scary. What kind of power is this? Why can't I feel its terror? Xianxia reached out his hand to touch this huge black bead, wanting to carefully inspect it. But the moment he placed his hand on it, the black bead suddenly shook, and then a wave of black aura surged out. Seeing that, Xianxia's face turned pale. He anxiously pulled his hand back, but he felt a berserk evil energy surging through his arm. The evil energy was invading his body, and it was so sudden, so overbearing. Luckily, he had reacted in time. He immediately released the world-defying god Fire S into his arms, burning the evil energy that had entered his body. Only after the momentum of the evil energy was destroyed by the world-defying god Fire was Xianxia able to pull his hand back. His entire body was drenched in cold sweat. If not for his fast reaction, he would have been swallowed by the evil energy. This is too terrifying. Xianxia gasped for breath. His entire body had already collapsed on the ground. Looking at the black ball in front of him, he felt some fear and did not dare to approach it. How deadly! Xianxia had already recovered from his shock at this point of time, and after consuming the world-defying stage divine power pellet, he released the world-defying god Fire to burn. The world-defying god Fire that was released by the world-defying stage divine power was extremely terrifying. Although the flame would not burn him, even he himself felt a little fearful. The gigantic black ball was burned by the invisible world-defying god Fire, and waves of white mist leaked out from its surface. Xianxia surprisingly discovered that the white mist was actually an extremely pure world-defying stage divine power. Spirit Star, what's going on? When I used the world-defying god Fire to burn the exceptional evil spirit force, I actually purified a very pure world-defying stage divine power. Xianxia anxiously contacted Sun Lingxing. This is normal, Sun Lingxing said. If you feel that it's possible, then save those world-defying stage divine powers. It isn't impossible for you to absorb them yourself, but this might allow you to step into the world-defying stage. If I destroy this ball of exceptional evil power, wouldn't the enchantment in the forest be destroyed? Xianxia asked. He believed that the array formation beneath the ground was the main reason why the world-defying stage had to retreat after entering the forest. Don't worry, it won't affect the forest. Just deal with it as you wish, Sun Lingxing said. Xianxia's snow-white world-defying stage divine power could not help but absorb it into his body, and then used the body-tempering manual within the myriad Tao divine arts to circulate the world-defying stage divine power to refine his own body. I can first strengthen my body, and the other divine body venerable ancestor will do the same. Xianxia suddenly planned to cultivate his primordial body before condensing the world-defying soul. This would help him become stronger. Xianxia had been burning the unique evil spirit force inside for a few days now, and everything was going smoothly. The group of exceptional evil spirit force had become much smaller. Xianxia suddenly heard the stone wall trembling. He immediately frowned. Could it be that someone is attacking this stone room from the outside? Xianxia was secretly shocked. Outside, other than the Forget-Me divine race and the dragon demon, there was also a mysterious world-defying stage heavenly sect. The world-defying stage heavenly sect knew a lot of things. Maybe they knew that the absolute evil energy was here, so they found this place. I wonder if this stone chamber can withstand it. Xianxia looked at the ball of evil chi that was shrinking, and felt that he could not stop now. It was not a good thing for the ball of evil spirit chi to fall into someone else's hands. Whatever, they shouldn't be able to come in. Xianxia felt that this stone room must be extremely sturdy, and not easy to destroy. Xianxia had already absorbed most of the world-defying stage divine power into his body, and then refined a portion of it into a world-defying stage divine power pellet. The sound outside did not stop, and after holding on for half a day, it stopped. Could be seen that the people outside had given up, and Xianxia was curious whether they knew he was inside, or else they would not risk their lives to attack him. If it's the world-defying stage heavenly sect S, maybe they also have the key. Xianxia suddenly thought back to what Sun Lingxing had said. The people of world-defying stage heavenly sect might have a key, which made him tensed up again, and quickly started to burn that ball of exceptional demonic energy. 2 days later, The peerless evil energy had been burnt and refined by his world-defying god fire. He came to the front of the stone door, thinking about how he could leave this place safely. Just as he was thinking, the stone door suddenly trembled. This was a sign that it was about to open. Xianxia was startled. He immediately used the counter-power to conceal himself, and made himself very, very small and flew atop it. The stone door slowly opened. The moment a crack appeared, Xianxia immediately used that crack to teleport outside. After arriving outside, he was greatly shocked. There were actually many people outside, such as the dragon demons, forget-me divine race, as well as some men, women, and children who were all dressed in gold. Altogether, there were more than 1,000 of them. Something ran out. Person suddenly shouted. There were some people with stronger senses here who sensed something and suddenly shouted. I also sensed it. It seems to be a person, and he also used spatial force. It's Xianxia. Only this guy knows how to use the power of space. This dragon demon was actually the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable. In order to enter this place, the Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable also retreated with his cultivation. While they were talking, Xianxia had already flew out along the tunnel. His speed was extremely fast, and after running a few rounds around the tunnel, he brought a group of people with him as he ran around, and then teleported to the top. After arriving at the top of the forest, Xianxia immediately used his fastest speed to return to Sun Lingxing's underground palace. Sun Lingxing had also woken up. She could feel that the ball of evil energy was no longer there, so she woke up without worry. When she came out of Xianxia's Yuyao Mountain Villa, she found out how Xianxia had escaped and was terrified, especially when she found out that there were a lot of people from World-Defying Stage Heavenly Sect. What are the strength levels of the World-Defying Stage Heavenly Sect? Asked. Even though he had seen it before, he did not really feel the strength of their auras, and even if he had sensed them seriously, it would not have been easy to find out just how strong they were. I'm not too sure about that right now either. If they had transformed into evil, then their strength would still be very strong. They would have been very strong in the past, but now that they have developed for so many years, they shouldn't be that weak. Sun Lingxing said. At this moment, she looked like she had undergone a great change. Her appearance was still beautiful and gentle, but her eyes flickered with wisdom. She no longer looked as innocent as she did before. Lingxing, what happened to you in the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum in your previous life? Why are you trapped inside? Xianxia was very curious about this, and asked, if I enter, will I truly be able to grasp the method to cultivate the primordial divine body? Sun Lingxing nodded his head. Yes, we can. But the first step is to obtain the legacies of the seniors inside. Not just anyone. Sun Lingxing did not reply her about her previous life, and obviously wanted to avoid her. Xianxia did not question him further, and said, then how much longer until the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum opens? Around 15 days. I'm not too sure, but it's going to be soon. I'll bring you in when the time comes. Sun Lingxing said, I am more familiar with the underground palace. With me as the guide, it will be easier for you to go in, at least you won't get lost. With Sun Lingxing leading the way, Xianxia felt a lot more at ease. Furthermore, he felt that he might be able to find out what Sun Lingxing's previous life was at that time. Spirit Star, I need to refine some Wangwa poison. Xianxia now had even more enemies, especially that mysterious world-defying stage Heavenly Sect, which made him feel quite a bit of pressure. Right now, he could only hope that the Wangwa poison would be effective on the people in the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect. Sun Lingxing had already known that Xianxia was a very talented alchemist. This was information she had gathered while she was in Yuyao Mountain Villa, by eavesdropping on their conversation. This allowed her to understand Xianxia even more. At this moment, her beautiful eyes flashed. She looked at the stone door of Xianxia's room, and thought, if he can obtain the inheritance of pill refining, maybe he can become a terrifying guy. The most terrifying inheritance in the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum is not some technique, but the Dan God mystery. I hope we can find it when we enter. Xianxia, who was refining a Wangwa poison, didn't know that there was an inheritance inside the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum that was very suitable for him. Right now, he only knew that he had to seriously prepare to enter, because at that time, he would have an even more terrifying enemy to deal with. More than 10 days had passed. Xianxia originally thought that the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum would open in 15 days. But he never expected that after only 13 days, Sun Lingxing would suddenly knock on his door. "Xianxia, it's starting," Sun Lingxing shouted. "The world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum's gate is about to open. Do you plan to enter as soon as possible? What's in it? If we enter later, won't it be harmful to us?" Xianxia knew that Sun Lingxing was extremely knowledgeable about the inside, so he decided to listen to Sun Lingxing's opinion. "If it was in the past, I could answer with absolute certainty, but I don't know now. The situation inside world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum is definitely not like the one I knew before." Sun Lingxing said, "It's better if we enter a bit earlier. At least we can't fall too far behind those guys." Xianxia nodded his head and said, "Then let's set off right now. However, if they are also there, we might end up fighting with them." Xianxia and Sun Lingxing were both very good at fighting, but the opponent had too many people, and most of them were very strong. He felt that even if he could win, it would be very tough. When that time came, how could he have the power to enter the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum? "Don't be afraid. When the time comes, I'll see if they dare to fight. Their final goal will still be to enter the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, and they also know that if they fight, both of them will suffer, so they definitely won't dare to make a move." Sun Lingxing said, "Let's go." Xianxia and Tang Xianxia followed Sun Lingxing and left the underground palace, and just like that, followed behind Sun Lingxing, heading towards the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum. As they were walking on the road, Xianxia and Sun Lingxing met some dragon demons, but these dragon demons actually didn't attack them. They only looked at them with extreme vigilance and followed behind them. Xianxia did not plan to make a move. These were all small fries. All of them could be killed in one move, and Sun Lingxing was the same. She felt that there was no need to waste her power on this kind of dragon demon. Very quickly, they arrived outside the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum. There were already many people gathered there. They seemed to have already agreed that they would not fight against Xianxia and Sun Lingxing. After all, this was a very critical moment. If they fought, perhaps no one would be able to enter the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum. "Sure enough, you guys are here." The Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable looked at Xianxia and said, "Right now, in order to enter the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, we will not settle our debts with you guys for the time being. After this matter has passed, we will definitely not let you guys off, unless you guys obediently cooperate with us right now." "Nonsense." Xianxia curled his lips. "If you have the guts, then make your move now. Do you think you have the ability to take care of me just because of this matter? You, the dog slave raised by the dragon and devil lord, will always be a dog slave. You will never be able to defeat me. Even your master didn't come here himself, so it's obvious that he wanted you servants to die." Xianxia looked at Dragon Devil Emperor Venerable, not showing any fear. "Yo, it's all because of Sun Lingxing supporting you. Are you not spouting nonsense here? Do you really think you are invincible in this world just by grasping a little bit of the power of space? You're just a normal human. You're just lucky to be able to grasp some of the power of space. And the people here are all blessed by the myriad Tao, and born with great power." The one who spoke was a man dressed in gold, with a proud face and a disdainful tone. He was someone from the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect. When the golden-robed man saw that Xianxia did not say a word, he laughed complacently. Just as he was laughing loudly, he suddenly heard a pa sound, and was slapped in the air by Xianxia, causing him to fall onto the ground. Xianxia's palm was very sudden and very powerful. It was unleashed when Xianxia fully activated the world-defying stage divine power in his body. As long as he was not world-defying stage, it would be hard to resist, not to mention that his opponent would never even dream that Xianxia would suddenly slap his face. Ever since he was young, he had always been high up in the sky. Not to mention slapping him, even shouting at him had never happened before. But now he was slapped. "My power of space is nothing special. I can only beat the crap out of others." Xianxia snorted. "You pretentious fellow. I thought you were really powerful. But it looks like you only have a little bit of humanity compared to those dog slaves. In fact, you're not even fart. The veins on his face immediately bulged, and balls after balls of golden light shot out from his body, wanting to rush towards Xianxia. However, a golden-clothed elderly man quickly pulled him back, and then fiercely glared at him, telling him to calm down immediately. Sun Lingxing, did you kill our 3 divine body venerable ancestresses? An old man from the Forget-Me divine race asked in a deep voice. They had suffered heavy losses from losing 3 divine body venerable ancestresses, causing them endless grief and anger. Forget-Me divine race also did not expect Sun Lingxing to actually have such strength, which was completely out of their expectations. They didn't know that those 3 divine body venerable ancestresses were killed by Xianxia, and they even fell for the Wanghua poison. So what? They came to capture me? Was he thinking of going back alive? Don't you allow me to kill them? Can I only let them capture me? You're too naive. Even if you send 10 of them over, they'll still be dead. Sun Lingxing's voice was ice-cold and filled with killing intent. The current her was completely different from the Sun Lingxing before. It made people feel fear. When the old man from the Forget-Me divine race saw Sun Lingxing, his heart trembled. He could not help but take a few steps back. His expression was filled with fear, causing others to be shocked. Sun Lingxing did not say that it was Xianxia's doing, but it was also to hide the extremely strong power of Xianxia. As long as they kept underestimating Xianxia, they would definitely take it lightly when dealing with him. The divine body venerable ancestor was very strong. There were 4 divine body venerable ancestresses behind the old man. Even the people from the world-defying stage heavenly sect thought that the revered ancestors of this level were very powerful, yet Sun Lingxing, a woman, actually killed 3 of them. Sun Lingxing, don't think that you can deal with our world-defying stage heavenly sect just because you can. A middle-aged man from the world-defying stage heavenly sect said. So, please be more honest when you enter the world-defying stage divine mausoleum, and don't force us to take action. Now that they knew Sun Lingxing was so strong, everyone thought that the world-defying stage heavenly sect was afraid of Sun Lingxing, which was why they endured the humiliation. You guys are the ones who should behave. From the beginning to the end, aren't you bastards the ones who are stirring up trouble? Sun Lingxing's beautiful eyes swept across the crowd, revealing a cold glint. Just from her eyes, one could see an ancient, limitless killing intent. This kind of aura was enough to stun many people. Xianxia secretly felt that since the last time he had fainted and awakened, Sun Lingxing had indeed become very different, and he seemed to have become a lot stronger. Fortunately, his relationship with Sun Lingxing was not bad. Otherwise, it would be difficult for him to enter the world-defying stage divine mausoleum by himself. Although Sun Lingxing looked very powerful, she knew that they were currently in a difficult situation. Once the world-defying stage divine mausoleum was activated, the enchantment around the forest would disappear, and if they came out, then the world-defying stage outside would definitely make a move against them. Right now, she only hoped that after Xianxia and her entered the world-defying stage divine mausoleum, they would be able to enter it. That way, they would have the ability to protect themselves after leaving the world-defying stage divine mausoleum. When Xianxia refined the unique evil spirit force, he had already absorbed a large amount of world-defying stage divine power S into his body, and had even used the myriad Tao's divine arts to refine his body. Right now, his body was also extremely terrifying, but others could not see through it. Even though Tang Zhongjie had not spoken a word since the beginning, Xianxia knew that he also had a lot of potential. After all, he was a very ancient fellow, and he was also a disciple of the world-defying stage heavenly sect at the time. In order to enter the world-defying stage divine mausoleum, he had held back from making a breakthrough. Bang! 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 A series of sounds suddenly came up, causing the world-defying stage divine mausoleum's stone door to shake. Everyone's line of sight immediately converged on the world-defying stage divine mausoleum. At this moment, everyone was extremely nervous. They all secretly gathered their energy, preparing themselves for other people's attacks. At this critical moment, especially the people like the dragon demons, they were extremely worried that they would be ambushed, so they guarded against Xianxia and Sun Lingxing who were behind them. Everything could be discussed after they enter the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum. If they were to fight outside now, maybe they would not have the chance to go in next because the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum's door would only be open for a short period of time. The first to enter were the people from the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect. They seemed to have a very high status among the dragon demons and Forget-Me Divine race, who seemed to be very respectful to them. Then, the people from the Forget-Me Divine race would go in, and the last one would be the dragon demons. "Let's go," Sun Lingxing said. "Wait a moment, be careful." "All right, Xianxia, after you enter, you must immediately give it a try and see if you can use the spatial energy." Xianxia was shocked. If he could not use it, then it would be troublesome. Xianxia, Sun Lingxing and himself also entered the great door of the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum. After entering, it was pitch black inside, but they could feel the other people inside. Right now, everyone was standing in the darkness without moving, because they did not know what was inside. "Wait!" Sun Lingxing sent a sound transmission to Xianxia. "There will only be changes here after the door closes." Sun Lingxing indeed had some understanding of the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, and very quickly the door closed, and the place lit up. It was unexpectedly a magnificent hall, and what shocked everyone was that in the front of the hall, there was a luxurious golden chair, sitting on it. The middle-aged man in black robes smiled, stroked his beard, and laughed. "It's been so long since I last saw a living person. It's so delicious." No one had expected to see a living person upon entering. The middle-aged man had a devilish smile on his face as he scanned the crowd. His eyes filled with curiosity. No one knew just how strong he was, because not a single trace of his aura could be detected. "Who is this person?" Xianxia sent a sound transmission to Sun Lingxing. When he looked at Sun Lingxing had her head lowered, as if she was avoiding the middle-aged man's gaze. She clearly knew who this middle-aged man was. Just now, Xianxia had tried to enter and could not use the power of space. "That's right, I can't use the power of space. It's been restricted. A bastard, ignore him. There's something wrong with this guy's head. Looks like it will be much more difficult for us to continue. If you are a bit stronger, you might be able to break through the restrictions on space here." Sun Lingxing replied. Then he looked at the lobby, and his gaze landed on a door. Xianxia also looked at the door. Just when he wanted to ask something, Sun Lingxing grabbed Xianxia's hand and sent a sound transmission to Xianxia. "Let old Tang enter your Yu Yao Mountain Villa. I'll bring you into the depths of world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum." Xianxia and Tang Zhongjie conversed using the sound transmission, and Tang Zhongjie also agreed. He immediately placed Tang Zhongjie inside the Yu Yao Mountain Villa. After Sun Lingxing saw that Tang Zhongjie had disappeared, he pulled Xianxia along, and in an instant, they flew to the front of the door, opened the door and entered the room. Everyone was startled. They realized that there were 9 doors in the hall, and why Sun Lingxing chose the smallest one, and why it looked like it was very simple and crude. At this time, some people anxiously followed, because they knew that Sun Lingxing was sealed in the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum in his previous life. Maybe Sun Lingxing knew something, and that was why he ran towards that door. Amongst these people, there were members of the Forget-Me Divine Race S and World-Defying Stage Heavenly Sect S. They were all old people, and it was clear that they had a complete understanding of Sun Lingxing. However, just as they took a few steps forward, the middle-aged man sitting in the front of the hall suddenly waved his hand. A gust of cold wind blew past, causing those people to shiver in fear. "You can't go through that door." The middle-aged man stroked his beard. "Other than that door, you can go through any other." "This? Why is that?" an old man from the world-defying stage Heavenly Sect asked. Middle-aged man in black robe looked at the old man, only to see his eyes suddenly flashing, and 2 rays of white light instantly shot out, penetrating through the old man's head. "Because you are not fit to go through that door," the middle-aged man in black robe said as he waved his hand. The old man that was killed suddenly flew over and floated in front of middle-aged man in black robe, turning into a cloud of blood. After the blood mist entered middle-aged man in black robe's body, he praised, "This old fellow's cultivation is not bad. Everyone immediately sweated profusely, all of them breaking out in cold sweat. All of their faces were filled with fear. Some of them were so scared that their legs were trembling. Middle-aged man in black robe was a strong world-defying stage, and their strongest was just venerable ancestor later stage. They were no match for it. They had not expected that this middle-aged man would suddenly attack and even directly swallow that person. Hurry up and go, or I'll suck you all dry. Middle-aged man in black robe's eyes suddenly turned red. It was a scary sight. Everyone immediately ran, rushing towards the 8 doors. No one dared to rush towards the fan Sun Lingxing just left behind. Just now, it had been swallowed because of a single question from someone. Sun Lingxing brought Xianxia to enter through the door and arrived at a bright path. Lingxing, what's going on with that guy outside? He entered and didn't stop you. Xianxia was very curious. He thought that Sun Lingxing had a grudge with the middle-aged man in black robe, but who would have thought that it would be so easy to get in? He owes me a favor in the past, but I really hate him. This guy is very violent, but at times he's also very kind. He's a temperamental guy, and my current strength is not a match for him, so it's better not to provoke him. Sun Lingxing said. She also slowed down a lot and was extremely vigilant, as if there was some danger to the passage. Xianxia used the Dao Heart Eye to look around, and unexpectedly saw 2 balls of black objects on the 2 walls of the tunnel. He did not know what it was, and quickly told Sun Lingxing what he saw just now. Did you really see it? Up there? Show me. Sun Lingxing asked anxiously. Xianxia released a small ball of fog of light, allowing it to float onto the wall in front. This is the place. Sun Lingxing immediately waved his hand and released a white light that smashed onto the ball of light on the wall. A burst of black qi suddenly exploded out from that spot, and after the black qi gushed out, it turned into a black python with black thorns all over. The giant python came out from the wall, spitting out a purple-red snake's tongue and spraying out a burst of purplish-black mist. One could tell at a glance that this was a poisonous python infused with poison, following which, something black kept appearing from both sides of the passageway. They were poisonous bugs, such as centipedes and scorpions. The originally bright tunnel was instantly filled with purplish-red poisonous gas. The intense poisonous stench caused one to feel nauseous. Xianxia was unable to use his spatial force and release his spatial barrier to defend against the poison aura. Originally, he was a little worried, but he felt that the poison would not be able to deal with him. My impenetrable physique has finally become useful again. Xianxia was secretly happy as he looked at the serious face of Sun Lingxing. Although she was not poisoned, her expression was extremely solemn, causing Xianxia to think that these poisons would be very difficult to deal with. World-defying god fire. Sun Lingxing called out to Xianxia softly. Let's try and see if there's any effect. The poison in these substances is the most terrifying. Xianxia pointed his palm in front of him, then activated world-defying stage divine power and activated the world-defying god fire. A burst of energy suddenly surged out, and that was the world-defying god fire. It did not have any color, nor was it visible. The world-defying god fire was like a transparent dragon shuttling back and forth in the passage. In an instant, all of the poison turned into black powder. It's working. Sun Lingxing's expression was still solemn. She raised her hand and unleashed a wave of cold world-defying stage divine power, sealing the 4 walls of the passageway. The walls were covered in a thick layer of ice, making the passageway look like an ice tunnel. It was extremely beautiful. Spirit Star, what are you worried about? Xianxia asked softly, and followed behind Sun Lingxing. Sun Lingxing's beautiful face tensed up, as if she was very nervous. This passageway can directly lead to a mysterious place. There is a suitable inheritance inside, but this passageway is also very dangerous. Sun Lingxing said. What inheritance is suitable for me? Xianxia did not think that Sun Lingxing was doing this for him, which made him feel touched in his heart. Dan God Mystery. Just as Sun Lingxing finished saying these 4 words, the passage suddenly shook, and the frozen ice here was instantly shattered, turning into a white mist and dissipating. Xianxia was shocked. This sudden force was like a flood that overflowed into the heavens, causing him and son Lingxing to retreat. It was an extremely terrifying world-defying stage divine power. This was the world-defying stage divine power stored in Sun Lingxing's body. When released, its power would appear to be not the least bit weaker than the one released by the world-defying stage. What is that thing so strong? Xianxia asked. Although there was a surge of strong power, he did not see anything. Sun Lingxing did not say anything, but walked forward step by step, towards the incoming force. Although it looked like this force was very terrifying, Sun Lingxing could still resist it. Even though Xianxia was behind her, he could only feel a bit of pressure. Sun Lingxing was the most familiar with the place, so if she did not speak, Xianxia would not intervene. Very quickly, Xianxia followed Sun Lingxing to the end of the tunnel. At the end of the tunnel was a black-colored cyclone, and the wave of berserk energy was precisely released from this cyclone. What's next? Xianxia asked softly when he saw Sun Lingxing standing in front of the ball of air. Wait! At this time, Sun Lingxing was still releasing her world-defying stage divine power, continuously to defend against the energy released by the cyclone. Spirit Star, what exactly is the Dan God mystery that you mentioned before? Xianxia was very curious about this. He was an alchemist and was very concerned about things related to refining pills, especially things inside the world-defying stage divine mausoleum. It's something left behind by a senior, but he's already dead. Right now, we need to go to his mausoleum, and the Dan God mystery is in his mausoleum. Sun Lingxing said, generally, places where people are buried are extremely dangerous, so if we want to go there, it won't be that easy. It was actually something left behind by a dead person. This made Xianxia feel that this world-defying stage divine mausoleum was truly a mausoleum, and a mausoleum of some powerful, unrivaled gods. Lingxing, were you here in your previous life? Shouldn't you first find the mausoleum from your previous life? Xianxia asked. He felt that Sun Lingxing must have died in this place too in his previous life. Not for now, Sun Lingxing said. The burial ground of my previous life is very strange. It's not that easy to go to. Even though it's not as dangerous as this place, it's not good to go. Sun Lingxing had already admitted that she was here in her previous life. If she could find it, then she would definitely be able to recover a lot of her strength. So that's how it is. Spirit Star, once you recover your strength, can you beat world-defying dragon demon and head of Forget-Me race? Xianxia asked again. I'm not sure either. I don't know how much cultivation I can recover back then. If I can recover completely, then dealing with them won't be a problem at all. I'm afraid that I can only recover a small portion. Sun Lingxing said, it's been a very long time, it's very hard for me to calculate for myself, so you have to break through to world-defying stage inside. That way we can have more security after we leave. I will definitely break through. Xianxia firmly believed that he would be able to do it. He had refined a lot of heaven and earth infinite Dan. If not for waiting for the world-defying stage divine mausoleum to open, he would have left the primordial forest a long time ago and cultivated to break through. Right now, in here, there was no restriction on world-defying stage, it was just that world-defying stage was not allowed to enter. The middle-aged man in black robe that was previously in the Great Hall, he was world-defying stages, and there was nothing wrong. The black cyclone at the end suddenly flashed and became white, and then produced an extremely strong suction force, causing Sun Lingxing to immediately pull Xianxia and jump in. After entering, Xianxia was secretly shocked. They actually came to a place where the sky was blood-red. This place looks terrible. Xianxia looked around. Everything here was red. Although there were many flowers and plants, all of them were blood-red. Sun Lingxing nodded his head. This is a place called Blood Berserk. It is a rather terrifying place. If you had more options, some of these would have drilled out at any time. When the time comes, your world-defying god fire will directly attack. All the evil beings here are most afraid of world-defying god fire. Just how many people are there here? For example, the middle-aged man in black robe outside the Great Hall. He does not seem to be dead. Why is he inside? Xianxia was very curious about that middle-aged man in black robe. He is the only person left alive in the world-defying stage divine mausoleum. This is extremely painful for him because he cannot be reincarnated. Nor can he be reincarnated. Sun Lingxing said, "In the future, he will have to continue guarding here and alone." Xianxia suddenly felt that this middle-aged man in black robe was rather pitiful, to actually suffer such a cruel punishment. Spirit Star, when you came here from your previous life, did you not die yet? Xianxia felt that Sun Lingxing must have known this much from staying in world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum for a period of time. Sun Lingxing only nodded. He did not say anything else. Originally, Xianxia wanted to ask about the meaning of the existence of the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, but he felt that Sun Lingxing would not say it the same way Sun Lingxing said. Just as Xianxia was talking with Sun Lingxing earlier, one of his legs was suddenly grabbed. He lowered his head and saw a blood-red hand. This hand had no blood and flesh, it was red and black in color, and was emitting waves after waves of blood-red mist. Xianxia's thigh shook, and the world-defying god fire immediately rushed out. There was only a chi-chi sound, as if hot iron was dropped into cold water, and Xianxia was able to break away from the claw. After dragging his leg up, he cursed in a low voice, "What the hell is this thing? Why is there such a thing here?" The fellows who accompanied them to the grave were said to be the enemies of many of the tomb lords. Sun Lingxing said, "The world-defying stage rankers who were buried here, after they chose to be buried here, their disciples and grandchildren will be responsible for capturing their enemies and then torture them to death here, causing their souls to never die. They will also have to accompany the tomb lords here for the rest of their lives. So that's how it is. No wonder the resentment is so great." Xianxia took out the 6 realms mirrors, and then sat on it himself. Sun Lingxing also went up, and she could immediately tell that the 6 realms mirrors was a good thing. The 6 realms mirrors was flying rather quickly because Xianxia was using his divine power to activate the array disk inside the 6 realms mirrors. The defensive barrier that was released was very strong, and along the way they met with many evil beings, but they were all repelled by the defensive barrier. "It's right in front." Sun Lingxing pointed to the front. "That is the heavenly cauldron alchemy tomb of the eternal pill god." The interior was red, but the small mountain in front of him that looked like a round cauldron emitted a white light. That holy light seemed out of place in this blood-red and demonic environment. "He looks amazing." Xianxia was already impatient to go over. In front of him, there was a round cauldron-shaped mountain with a green tree and red flowers. It looked very beautiful. "This kind of expert's mausoleum is different," Xianxia praised. "Yes, there are many enemies of this kind of powerhouse. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to dye this place red. Before he died, he and his disciples would come here and slaughter all of his enemies." Sun Lingxing said, "There's always a sky above the heavens. I never thought that there would be such a vast world with world-defying stage inside." Xianxia said, "I really didn't expect it before, that it would only be the divine wasteland. There were indeed many strong practitioners in the divine wasteland back then, but all of them are now lying here." Sun Lingxing said, "This is mainly because of the depletion of resources, so the later generations of world-defying stage are getting fewer and fewer, and the strong are mainly concentrated in the venerable ancestor realm. Back then, in that vast world, although there were many experts from the world-defying stage, they had also exhausted a large amount of resources. Later on, when these powerhouses died, their bodies returned to the earth and turned back into energy, watering the entire world and allowing it to develop in a balanced manner. This could also be considered a cycle of the Great Tao. Otherwise, even if they wanted to live, they would not be able to resist the laws of the Great Tao at the end, and they would still die in the end." Sun Lingxing sighed. "And next, a new great world will be born. Not long from now, a new batch of powerful world-defying stage will appear, and this group of world-defying stage will eventually return to this place." Now, Xianxia finally understood a little more about the meaning of the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum. It was actually to let the power of the world-defying stage ranker return to the myriad Taos, to nourish the life of the myriad Tao. It was just a cycle. Looks like the myriad Tao is still very mysterious. What kind of existence is he exactly? We exist within the myriad Tao, but we do not know the true nature of the myriad Tao. Xianxia said, Will my final resting place also be here? That may not be so. The main thing is how much power you absorbed from the myriad Tao. If you absorb too much of the myriad Tao's resources from beginning to end, at a certain time you will know that your time is up. At that time, no matter what happens, you will have to die. Sun Lingxing said, in the world-defying stage Divine Mausoleum, all the Tomb Lords all end up like this. Do not absorb myriad Tao's power? Xianxia frowned. He seemed to have thought of something. Indeed, cultivating via pill forging is a type of training, but Xianxia said, however, as you have seen, the myriad Tao Dan God's mausoleum is right in front of us, and he did not succeed. Sun Lingxing said, but when I came in the past, I did hear some legends saying that myriad Tao Dan God was halfway successful, and that there was some meaning to being half successful. I am also not very clear about it, and this is also the first time I am here. Xianxia immediately thought of his own crash method. His crash method was constantly allowing energy to evolve, letting it reproduce, and allowing his energy to exceed its limit. He felt that this could not be considered to be absorbing the power of the myriad Tao. He had consumed a lot of these kinds of pills, so maybe he didn't have much power in the myriad Tao, but only a few from the pills he had concocted himself. This way, his final destination might not be here, but he had reached an unprecedented realm. Many world-defying Stage S were already executed when they were at their peak. Even if they had potential, they did not have the chance to surpass the last layer of limit. If he was not killed by the myriad Tao in the end, then he might have a chance to try. Thinking about it, Xiang's heart couldn't help but start beating faster. Of course he didn't want to die, and right now, compared to many other old fellows, he was relatively young. Many people thought that one would be able to live forever after reaching the peak of the divine level of the world-defying stage. Actually, that was a mistake, but on the contrary, to reach this realm is the time one's life ends. No matter how strong you are or how strong your body is, you will still be executed by the myriad Tao. Sun Lingxing looked at the mausoleum that was slowly approaching and coldly said, to reach the peak of strength is the moment of death. This is truly ironic. Xianxia was secretly shocked. This Sun Lingxing had obviously had this kind of experience before. Otherwise he wouldn't have said such words. Why? Xianxia asked. This is the rule of a myriad of great Daos. Otherwise, if you surpass that boundary, then you will have the power to truly destroy tens of thousands of great Daos. Furthermore, if you continue to advance further, it will require a lot of resources, and you will have no choice but to devour tens of thousands of great Daos. This is one of the self-protection laws set down by tens of thousands of great Daos. Sun Lingxing said, and no one has ever been able to break through this rule, unless, in the process of his cultivation, he does not rely too much on the power of the thousands of great Daos. Then the tens of thousands of great Daos will regard this person as unthreatening. Even if he breaks through the final peak, he will not be a threat to the countless great Daos, nor will he be able to devour the thousands of great Daos because this person has already found a way to improve without relying on the energy of the tens of thousands of great Daos. Sun Lingxing raised his head to look at the round cauldron like White Mountain. His eyes were full of respect, and said, and myriad Tao Dan God almost succeeded. Did he really die? Xianxia and Sun Lingxing had already reached the bottom of the hill. There was a barrier in front of them, preventing them from getting any closer. How do we get in? Xianxia controlled the 6 realms mirrors to fly around the small hill to check if there were any entrances. Sun Lingxing did not know either, but she was frowning and thinking deeply. It's very safe here. There's nothing here. Under the white light's illumination, Xianxia felt extremely comfortable and relaxed as he flew. After he flew around the mountain twice, a black shadow suddenly flew by and he hurriedly shouted, Spirit Star, there's something. It seems to be a living person. Xianxia shouted in shock. Sun Lingxing regained his senses, looked around, and did not see the living being that Xianxia was talking about. Did you see it wrong? Sun Lingxing did not sense any aura from before either. Xianxia shook his head. It's definitely not that I'm wrong. Suddenly, the black shadow appeared again. Furthermore, it was flying right over that small hill. Its speed was extremely fast. This guy was outside just a moment ago, And now he actually went in. Does he have a way to go in? Xianxia said. This time, Sun Lingxing also saw it, so she did not suspect Xianxia's words anymore. Instead, she carefully observed the small mountain and shouted softly, I am the divine maiden of myriad stars back then, and have already been reborn. Can you guide me into the myriad Tao Dan gods' mausoleum? For her to be able to reincarnate, it must be something difficult. There were many dead world-defying stage S in the world-defying stage divine mausoleum, and it was said that they were fighting tooth and nail for the chance to be reborn. But in the end, they only obtained a few, and Sun Lingxing was one of them.